Hi guys, welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will learn about the explosive romantic developments that could completely transform Jason Morgan's love life as we dive deep into the tantalizing possibility of a Britt Westbourne resurrection storyline. The landscape of Port Charles romance has been dramatically altered, and Jason Morgan stands at the epicenter of what could become the most compelling love story to grace our screens in years. For over 12 months since his dramatic return to the canvas, the enigmatic enforcer has remained romantically unattached, creating a fascinating void in the romantic ecosystem of General Hospital. This prolonged bachelor status has become increasingly intriguing to devoted viewers who have witnessed Jason's magnetic appeal draw countless women into his orbit throughout his storied tenure on the show. Despite his unconventional career path that frequently involves morally ambiguous situations and dangerous encounters, Jason possesses an undeniable magnetism that transcends traditional romantic boundaries. His rugged handsomeness, combined with an unexpected moral compass that guides his most crucial decisions, creates an irresistible combination that has captivated audiences and potential love interests alike. The dangerous allure of his lifestyle, paradoxically balanced by his unwavering loyalty to those he cares about, positions him as the ultimate romantic enigma in Port Charles. The week of July 14th to 18th promises to deliver a seismic shift in Jason's romantic trajectory, as spoilers tease an airport encounter that could reshape everything fans thought they knew about his future. During what appears to be a routine travel moment, Jason's world is turned upside down when he spots a familiar figure moving through the terminal. The emotional intensity of this moment cannot be overstated, as Jason's typically stoic demeanor crumbles into a complex mixture of confusion, hope, and disbelief. The history of Jason's romantic entanglements since his return has been marked by a series of near misses and unfortunate circumstances that have left fans yearning for a satisfying resolution. His inability to reconnect with Sam McCall, despite their legendary status as one of General Hospital's most beloved super couples, created a profound sense of loss among longtime viewers. Sam's deep emotional connection to Dante Falconeri had already established an insurmountable barrier between the former lovers. But her tragic passing in late October 2024 permanently sealed the fate of Jason, leaving Jason to navigate a world without his most significant romantic anchor. The attempted romantic pairing between Jason and Anna Devane represented a bold storytelling choice that ultimately failed to resonate with the audience. Their brief kiss generated such negative feedback from viewers that the storyline was quickly abandoned, primarily due to the uncomfortable dynamic created by Jason's intense romantic history with Anna's daughter, Robin Scorpio Drake. The psychological complexity of a mother pursuing her daughter's former love interest proved too problematic for audiences to embrace, highlighting the delicate balance required when crafting romantic storylines within the intricate web of Port Charles relationships. Brief romantic possibilities with Sasha Corbin flickered across the screen like shooting stars, offering momentary hope before being extinguished by the writer's apparent reluctance to fully commit to developing their connection. These fleeting moments served to emphasize Jason's isolation rather than provide meaningful romantic fulfillment, leaving fans increasingly frustrated with the lack of substantial romantic development for such a central character. The mention of Dr. Britt Westbourne's name in this context sends shockwaves through the General Hospital community, as her previous relationship with Jason represented one of the most chemically charged and emotionally compelling pairings in recent memory. Their connection transcended typical soap opera romance, featuring genuine emotional depth and sizzling chemistry that many fans argued rivaled even the iconic Jason pairing. The intensity of their brief time together left viewers hungry for more, making her tragic death at the hands of the Hook in early 2023 all the more devastating. Britt's demise came at the hands of Heather Weber during her reign of terror as the Hook, robbing fans of what could have been an extraordinary love story between two complex characters who understood each other's darkness and light. The timing of her death felt particularly cruel, as it occurred just as their relationship was beginning to explore deeper emotional territory that could have redefined both characters' trajectories. Recent developments have created an atmosphere of mounting speculation regarding Kelly Thibault's return to the canvas. The strategic mentions of Britt's involvement in Rocco Falconeri's birth story, combined with the confirmed return of Dr. Liesl Obrecht, have created a perfect storm of narrative elements that seem to be building toward something significant. These carefully planted story seeds suggest that the writers may be preparing the ground for a resurrection storyline that could rival any previous return from the dead in General Hospital history. The airport encounter promises to be a masterclass in emotional storytelling, as Jason's typically controlled exterior crumbles in the face of an impossible sight. The preview footage captures a moment of pure vulnerability, showing Jason's face cycling through disbelief, recognition, and desperate hope as he processes what he's seeing. Whether this figure is actually Britt or someone bearing an uncanny resemblance remains tantalizingly unclear. But the emotional impact on Jason suggests that this encounter will have profound consequences regardless of the ultimate truth. The possibility of Britt's return raises fascinating questions about the circumstances surrounding her apparent survival. Has she been suffering from amnesia, living a completely different life while her loved ones mourn her loss? Or has she been deliberately staying away from Port Charles, perhaps for reasons related to ongoing danger or personal transformation? The narrative possibilities are endless, and each potential explanation opens up rich storytelling opportunities that could sustain compelling drama for months to come. Jason's romantic journey has been characterized by profound connections that transcend typical soap opera relationships, and his bond with Britt represented a unique chapter in his romantic history. Their relationship featured elements of danger, passion, and genuine emotional intimacy that created a viewing experience unlike anything else on the show. The prospect of their reunion, whether through resurrection or some other narrative device, promises to deliver the kind of romantic intensity that has been notably absent from Jason's recent storylines. The timing of this potential development couldn't be more perfect, as Jason desperately needs a substantial romantic storyline to anchor his character's emotional journey. His prolonged isolation has created a void that affects not only his personal development but also his connections to the broader Port Charles community. A reunion with Britt could provide the emotional catalyst necessary to reinvigorate his character and create new storytelling possibilities that ripple throughout the show's narrative landscape. Next, we will learn about the explosive controversy surrounding Stella Henry's shocking decision to potentially sacrifice her distinguished medical career in order to secure life-saving surgery for Martin Gray, a revelation that has sent shockwaves through the Port Charles medical community and beyond. The medical establishment at General Hospital has been rocked to its very foundation following the emergence of disturbing allegations that one of their most respected senior staff members may have deliberately circumvented established protocols to benefit a controversial figure. Stella Henry, whose impeccable reputation and unwavering dedication to patient care have made her a pillar of the hospital community, now finds herself at the center of a brewing scandal that threatens to unravel everything she has worked so hard to build throughout her distinguished career. The bombshell revelation came to light during an intensely charged conversation that took place on July 10, 2025, when carefully guarded secrets began to surface through heated exchanges that revealed the true extent of Stella's involvement in Martin Gray's medical situation. The dialogue, crackling with tension and unspoken implications, painted a picture of a woman who had crossed lines that many believed she would never even approach, let alone breach with such apparent determination and calculated precision. Hospital insiders are buzzing with speculation about the exact nature of Stella's protocol violations, with whispered conversations in corridors suggesting that her actions may have extended far beyond simple advocacy into potentially criminal territory. The gravity of these allegations cannot be understated, as they suggest that a woman who has spent decades building trust and maintaining the highest ethical standards may have deliberately manipulated the medical system for reasons that remain frustratingly unclear to those attempting to understand her motivations. The beneficiary of Stella's alleged rule-breaking, Martin Gray, presents a fascinating study in contrasts that makes Stella's decision all the more perplexing to observers trying to decode her thought process. Known throughout Port Charles as Drew Quartermain's sharp-tongued legal counsel, Marty has built a reputation as someone willing to navigate the murkier waters of legal representation, often finding himself entangled in schemes that blur the lines between legitimate advocacy and questionable tactics that serve his clients' more dubious objectives. Marty's professional associations have created a web of complicated relationships that extend deep into the Corinthos family dynamics, positioning him as a polarizing figure whose allegiances shift depending on the legal landscape and financial incentives at play. His involvement in Drew's various machinations, including the particularly disturbing blackmail scheme targeting Dr. Portia Robinson has painted him as someone whose moral compass points toward profit rather than principle, making Stella's apparent willingness to risk everything for his benefit all the more bewildering. The specific nature of Stella's alleged interventions suggests a level of premeditation and risk-taking that seems completely at odds with her typically measured approach to problem-solving. Sources close to the situation hint that her actions may have included manipulating surgical waitlists, potentially falsifying medical records, or leveraging her position within the hospital hierarchy to expedite procedures that would normally require extensive approval processes and careful documentation. These suspected violations represent more than simple procedural infractions. They constitute potential felonies that could result in criminal charges, permanent loss of medical credentials, and the complete destruction of a career that has been defined by service to others and unwavering commitment to ethical medical practice. The stakes could not be higher for someone who has dedicated her life to healing and helping others within the bounds of established medical ethics. Stella's historical pattern of fierce patient advocacy and her reputation as someone who fights tirelessly for those who cannot fight for themselves makes her apparent decision to bend rules for Martin Gray particularly intriguing to those trying to understand her motivations. Throughout her career, she has been known as someone who works within the system to achieve positive outcomes, using her knowledge, experience, and professional relationships to navigate bureaucratic obstacles without compromising her integrity or violating established protocols. The contrast between her previous approach to challenging situations and her alleged actions regarding Marty's surgery suggests that something extraordinary must have motivated her to abandon her typically cautious approach in favor of more dramatic and potentially dangerous intervention. This departure from her established pattern has left colleagues, friends, and family members struggling to understand what could have prompted such an uncharacteristic decision. Several theories have emerged among Port Charles observers attempting to explain Stella's dramatic shift in behavior and her willingness to risk everything for Martin Gray's medical needs. One possibility centers on the development of a personal connection between Stella and Marty that has not been fully revealed to viewers, suggesting that their professional interactions may have evolved into something more meaningful that would justify such extreme risk-taking on her part. Another compelling theory suggests that Stella's actions may be motivated by her desire to counteract Drew Quartermain's growing influence over people she cares about, particularly given his manipulative behavior toward Portia and the threat his schemes pose to Curtis and Portia's marriage. By ensuring Marty's survival and continued legal representation, Stella may be positioning herself to indirectly combat Drew's machinations through his own lawyer. The possibility also exists that Stella's decision ties into broader Port Charles drama that has yet to be fully revealed to audiences, suggesting that her actions may serve purposes that extend far beyond simple compassion or personal connection. This theory implies that her rule-breaking may be part of a larger strategy designed to protect people she loves or advance causes that align with her deeply held values. The potential consequences of Stella's actions extend far beyond her own career prospects, creating ripple effects that could fundamentally alter the dynamics within the Henry family and their connections to the broader Port Charles community. If her protocol violations are discovered and prosecuted, the scandal could devastate Curtis and Portia, who have already endured significant stress due to Drew's manipulative behavior and the ongoing challenges in their marriage. Portia's position as co-chief of staff creates additional complications, as any investigation into Stella's actions would likely involve her professional oversight and could force her into the impossible position of having to take disciplinary action against a beloved family member. The ethical dilemmas this situation creates for Portia could prove as devastating as the original scandal, particularly if she becomes aware of Stella's actions before they are officially discovered. Curtis's relationship with both women adds another layer of complexity to the situation, as he would likely find himself caught between supporting the woman who raised him and understanding the impossible position his wife faces in her professional capacity. The emotional toll of this conflict could prove catastrophic for a family that has already weathered numerous storms and emerged stronger through their mutual support and understanding. The General Hospital fan community has responded to these developments with characteristic passion and divided opinions that reflect the complexity of Stella's situation and the various factors that may have motivated her actions. Supporters have rallied around the hashtag Stella's Heart is Gold, emphasizing her decades of selfless service and suggesting that her motivations must be pure even if her methods were questionable. Critics have taken a more skeptical approach, questioning what's she hiding, and expressing concern that her actions may indicate hidden agendas or compromised judgment that could have far-reaching implications for patient safety and hospital integrity. This faction argues that good intentions cannot justify violations of protocols designed to protect patients and ensure fair access to medical resources. The polarized response from viewers reflects the genuine affection many feel for Stella's character while acknowledging the serious nature of the allegations against her. This emotional investment in her fate has created an atmosphere of intense speculation and anticipation as fans await further developments in this unfolding drama. Martin Gray's reaction to Stella's apparent sacrifice on his behalf will likely play a crucial role in determining how this storyline develops and whether her risk-taking ultimately serves the greater good or creates additional complications. His gratitude could provide some protection for Stella if her actions are discovered, as his testimony about her motivations and the circumstances surrounding his medical emergency could influence how authorities and hospital administrators respond to the situation. The broader implications for Drew's legal defense and his ongoing schemes throughout Port Charles add another dimension to this controversy, as Marty's continued availability as legal counsel could prove crucial to several ongoing storylines. Stella's actions may have inadvertently positioned herself as a key player in much larger conflicts that extend far beyond the hospital walls. As this explosive storyline continues to unfold, viewers can expect revelations that will test loyalties, challenge assumptions, and potentially reshape the relationships between some of Port Charles's most beloved characters. The ultimate resolution of Stella's crisis will likely depend on whether her motivations are revealed to be as pure as her supporters believe or as complex as her critics suspect.